स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. A devotee. What then is the way, sir? What then is the way, sir? She is asking Sri Ramakrishna. Master, there is a way. One succeeds if one develops a strong spirit of renunciation. Give up at once with discrimination, with determination, what you know to be unreal. Once when I was seriously ill, I was taken to the physician, Ganga Prasad Sen. He said to me, I shall give you a medicine, but you must not drink any water. You may take pomegranate juice. Everyone wondered how I could live without water, but I was determined not to drink it. I said to myself, I am a Paramahamsa, not a goose. I shall drink only milk. There is a way one succeeds if one develops a strong spirit of renunciation. Renunciation means giving up what is obstructing our spiritual path. Everything need not be given up. We need not give up our duties and responsibilities of life. We need not give up the world and run away. What obstructs our spiritual path has to be given up. What captures our mind, what captures our attention in this world. Can we do all our duties and offering to God and without any internal disturbances? The external situations should not affect me. People around should not affect me. My own body conditions should not affect me. Then my mind is free totally to contemplate on God, to think of the higher ideals, to go deeper into my own existence through the inward journey. All this is possible if I am free from the holdings of the world. Nothing of the world should hold me. I must be totally independent of the external holdings. This is what this makes us totally dedicated. And what comes as an obstructions to this? My desire for enjoyments, for example. Sukha Dukha do come to us according to our karmic load, wherever we are, in some form or the other. To run after the world, enjoyments of the world, to yield to the temptations of bodily existence, all this captures us and makes us very painful life. So, renunciation is giving up of things that come in the way of our spiritual living. So, Sri Ramakrishna gives the example how determinedly you give up certain things which are obstructing. So, there we see the Lord is telling He Himself had to give up water for some time according to the doctor's instruction, and with determination, yes, I will not drink. Certain things we have to practice in small quantities. The first self-control, Sanyama in spiritual life is getting up early in the morning. It's a woe of life. When we decide 5 o'clock I will be at the prayer hall and sit for meditation, or I will be in my shrine, I'll sit for meditation. That every day, rest of the life till the body falls off, it must be observed. These things, nobody, it doesn't affect anybody, nor I have any excuses to miss it. These things, giving up my personal comforts and enjoyments is within my limits. I have to do all these things without affecting the people around. Whatever I do, my duties and responsibilities must go on smoothly. My life must go on smoothly. All things must move smoothly. And I must be able to calmly, joyfully dedicate my life to God. This is renunciation. So, when Sri Ramakrishna says, because here the previous thing is, you must do it all by yourself. Every now and then, if you have to take rice in your hand and see how clean it is, but how can you do your work well if you are called again and again? If the family living, you are disturbed now and then with so many things, what is the way? Means, if you put for curdling milk, it must be able to, you should not shake it till it gets curdled. If you give sufficiently warmth within an hour, it gets curdled. If you shake a few times in between, it will not get curdled. Milk will get spoiled. Like that, now and then if something is shaking you, so undisturbed you must be able to do. In that context, the devotees are asking, what is the way then? Because world is going to disturb. Then he says, it is internal now. When external things are there, our internal, our own, within our reach, within our capacities, we have the every freedom and right to have self-control on ourselves. And it has to be done in such a way, it will not disturb the life of others, it must go in perfect harmony with all people around, my duties of life, my community living, all things must go on in a perfect harmony. At the same time, internally, you must be uninvolved. The ego, main thing what is to be renounced is ego, the doership. I am doing, kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva are there in ego. I think in one of the ancient texts, there is a story, maybe in Vashishta, Yoga Vashishta, it must be there. One sage will be there. He has got married, and his wife, she is an enlightened soul, and she is hankering that her husband must get enlightenment. She'll be, whole her attention is how to make my husband get illumination. He too will be putting all his efforts, is that, living a holy life, try to do so many things. But as the time passes, she feels, will he be able to complete the journey in the rest of the life? She repeatedly says, do something, time is passing, life is ending, activate, do something. Then finally he decides to leave and go away. Now I have to go somewhere, enter the depths of forest or somewhere in total solitude. I have to live a life of total renunciation, concentration on the divine. So he tells to the wife, I am going away. I will find some place myself and live there until enlightenment. I will not come back. And he leaves the home and goes away. He walks and walks through the village and other places, enters a deep forest. Entering into a forest, he walks into a place where there is a small pool of water, a pond of water. In front he finds a cave in which he thinks he can live now. He'll be living there, getting up early in the morning, sitting at nights here, there, calling on God. That is, Aham Brahmasmi, this, that, whatever the Advaitic path or whatever path he is to. Mostly of the sages, the Atman, search for the Atman is the most important part. So he contemplates, I am not this body, this, that and all, so many things. But illumination doesn't come. Wife being illumined, she is sitting at home and watching what all he is doing, where is he, how is he, everything. Days pass, years pass, getting up in the morning, again going to the pond, taking the bath, here there searching for some food, some trees here, plus some 1 or 2 fruits, eating, his bodily weight is decreasing, whole day and night he is sitting. All that is happening, but illumination doesn't come. Then wife thinks, oh, he has left and gone away and doing everything, but what he has to renounce, he has not renounced. Behind all his actions there is the ego. I will leave the home and go, I will do that, I will do here, I will do that. And wife thinks, oh, now many years have passed, he won't, in this way he won't be able to reach. So she dresses like a sage and walks through that forest. From the other side she is coming down and he's finishing his bath and coming up, he sees a sage coming down. And enlightened soul, at the very look that captures, oh, this is something, unimaginable glory is coming. He goes and falls at their feet and says, bless me, I will realize God. Then he says, yes, one who renounces all, everything for God, he alone attains. He says, yes, I have renounced and come here, staying for a long time, calling on the God, calling on nature, trying to enter within. I have not got illumination. He says, your renunciation is incomplete. He says, what do you mean? I have left my home, I left my family, I left everything. I am here. He says, no, your renunciation is not complete. Then he says, what am I keeping? Only one kamandalu in my hand. He throws away the kamandalu. He says, now. He says, no. He looks at his cave. And the cave, for rainy season, he had put a few wooden packings. And he thinks, oh, it is like a building house. This I will pluck and throw away. He throws away. Now, he says, he has nothing more to renounce. What all he has given up. He says, your renunciation is not complete. Only thing he is wearing is his waist belt, cowpin. That also he throws away. Now, he says, no, your renunciation is not complete. He says, what else I have except a body? He puts a fire and says, now, last thing what I possess is this body. I am going to give up this body. Then, while he is jumping into the water, that sage catches up his hand and pulls him back. Oh, what do you get after body goes off? Nothing remains. What all you have to renounce, you are not renounced. He wonders, what is there that I have not renounced. Then the sage says, you have not renounced your ego. If you can renounce the ego, you could have lived in the family there with all. There is no need to renounce what all you have renounced. Only thing to be renounced was ego. So here the renunciation is mostly, I will do this, I will do that, I behind all the things. Every sadhana, be it japa or dhyana, if it is done with the ego backing, it always becomes a karma. It gives a karmic fruit. Maybe it is pleasing the nature. It may be something that I am going to get in return is punya phala, not the elevation. When he gives up the ego, Lord, you get it done. This body is yours. I am at your disposal. Instruct me from within. Intuit me from within what I have to do. You get it done. Usually, sadhakas, what they do, they go on doing, go on doing. Years pass. Getting up in the morning, sitting at night, here, there, calling on the God, this, that, and all. Everything fails. Years pass. Decades pass. They are where they are. Oh, 10 years passed. I did not get anything tangible in my hand. Oh, the time is passing. I am doing all things. I am doing my meditation, I am doing japa, I am doing studies, everything I am doing. But where is the progress? Whatever I attend, ultimately nothing. And finally, struggles. Then finally he gets exhausted and falls off. The last stage when he can do nothing more. And then the soul surrenders. When soul surrenders that I cannot do anything more, then the grace descends. Then again, that grace of God starts working. With the surrendered body and mind, with surrendered soul, with surrendered heart and intellect, he starts doing again. Now he sees that he is not doing because everything is surrendered. Things are happening. Till then, it was he was doing and God was simply watching. Now God starts doing and the devotee or the sadhaka starts watching. Oh, this is happening, that is happening, this fruit is coming, that fruit is coming. When the ego goes out, then the actual struggle is done by the completion is always done by this is what we call, if you keep one step ahead, 10 steps God keep towards you. This we see the system of renunciation. You have to spend a few days in solitude. If you but touch the granny, you are safe. You have to spend a few days in solitude. In solitude, what happens? We are seeing this world all the time and keeping the world in our mind. The world outside or people outside do not harm us or do anything with us. They are outside. The world that you are keeping within you, the people whom you are placed within you are creating trouble. Somebody told something, somebody scolded, somebody slighted me. I keep that person and those words within and go on working with it. That is going to give me problem. Externally, nothing is going to give me problem. He is outside. What he told is also outside. I keep them inside. So here the problem comes because the things are inside. When you throw them away, you get peace. Don't take anything within then you are at peace. This is uninvolved movement in the world. So you go into the spiritual world. So here, Sri Ramakrishna is, you have to spend a few days in solitude. In solitude, what happens? We are seeing the world, keeping the world within, always, whether we are alone or we are in the world, we are continuing to think of the world. When we sleep, enter into dream also, we are thinking of the world. So world is in front of us. We have never looked at ourselves. In solitude, first time you practice, you come across witnessing yourself. Because the next moment, interaction with the world is blocked off. Now you are alone from inside. What is? Somebody is scolded or something was there inside. That person is no more seen. But the thought and the pain starts coming up. And I am looking at myself now, independent of him. How did I take this inside? How did it enter into such a depth that it is creating great commotion within myself? So this vision towards himself, in solitude we face ourselves. At all times we are facing outside only. From birth till death, a man who never enters into solitude will be facing the world, whether he is alone or with people. First time he learns to drop his vision of outside and start looking inside. So he starts looking, oh, how dirty is my face, how things are, how did it enter, how these things, thoughts came to me, how did these good and bad things, where from they are coming. So all the corrections begin. Oh, I should not do like that. I wanted to harm him. I wanted to take revenge against him. I wanted to capture those enjoyments. I wanted to... all these things will start. Internal calming down. Internal cleansing. On the other side, there will be intense participation of the Guru. We will not understand actually how the Guru will be panting within himself for the devotee, his disciple. We can see to some extent Sri Ramakrishna walking alone at night, thinking of his disciples. Holy Mother says, those who do not do japa, for them I have to do japa, I am sitting all night. So this, how much of the disciple doesn't know, he will never know also, that such a thing, some of the true gurus who have truly given his mantra and taken the total responsibility of this disciple will be silently weeping at the feet of God for the welfare of his disciple. That disciple should reach a state of perfection. So this will be protecting us, a shield that harm is not done. It's called samrakshana. Guru's prayer will be a protective layer, but what is within has to be thrown away. That some amount of sadhana, some amount of prayer, this, as the Guru is trying to help and lift him, he has to participate equally to get rid of the inner dirts. So this, how much am I dedicating myself? How much I have been able to give myself to this world? How much I have been able to give myself to God? And is there any selfishness behind any of my act or thoughts or any intention which is unknown to me? Yeah, all these things are washed in solitude. In solitude is not the external solitude alone. not even the inner solitude. Internally also I might be in solitude. Externally also. Solitude actually refers to unbroken thought of divine. Except God, no other thought should come to you in your mind. You are in solitude from the world. Worldly thoughts, worldly engagements, worldly duties and responsibilities are kept aside, and only a stream of divine thought is flowing in you. Nirantara japa dhara or jnana dhara or lila dhyana or something, everything connected with divine. That is solitude. Solitude is not the effort to empty the mind, because mind can never become empty. Even in sleep it works. Even in the deep sleep, it remains with one thought, one vritti, holding on to the absence of all things. Nothing exists. That one will be absence of all things is the content of the mind at that time. So mind never ceases. The moment you start coming to waking, the moment you are entering into dream state, the mind started continuously working. So make it filled with the divine thoughts. A stream of, unbroken stream of divine thoughts must follow. And that is the actual solitude. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna, you have to spend a few days in solitude. If you but touch the granny, you are safe. Turn yourself into gold and then live wherever you please. This touching the granny is a play. Here there is footnote. An allusion to the game of hide and seek. 136 again he has given there. Indian game of hide and seek, in which the leader, known as Granny, bandages the eyes of the players and hides herself. The players are supposed to find her. If any player can touch her, the bandage is removed from his eyes and he is released from the game. If you touch the granny, you are free. You are freed. There will be 10 or 12 children. Their eyes are all tied, and granny will be sitting one place. She ties all these and leaves, and she'll be making sound. Not that they need not go here and there. She makes coo sound, and the blind children will start moving towards there. By the time they reach there, the sound is coming from somewhere else. Coo sound. So they will run there. So they will be running and searching for her. And there will be limited space, limited area, 4 houses in between or something like that. She cannot go. Now all children will spread their hands with tied hands, with tied eyes. They will be moving about here. They're starting. The moment anyone touches the granny, then he is released. So this, like that, touching the feet of God, acquiring the love of God, you are able to constantly remember the divine within yourself, in and through all activities, in and through all states of existence. You are able to think of God. Then it is, you have touched the granny. You are safe. Turn yourself into gold and then live wherever you please. It is philosopher's stone. An iron left anywhere, it starts rusting in no time. Within a few years, you see it has become mud and mixed with mud and gone away. So here you see, if that iron touches the philosopher's stone, it gets converted into gold. Afterwards, wherever it falls, it doesn't matter. Once you, at least minimum that we require is spiritual awakening. I am going first time beyond the barrier of mind towards my own self. The body identity breaks. We have three bodies. Remember this always, three bodies: gross, subtle and causal. Stula, Sukshma, Karana. Stula is this body which live in sleep. Mind and senses are subtle body which continues after leaving this body and entering into sleep. In the dream state continues. As long as dream is there, there is the mind and senses. When you go deeper, you will see that something else, that is only causal body is there. With beyond that is the what you really are. So this, the identity is the thing we see. Turn yourself into gold, and wherever, once you know your spiritual identity, we are identified with body. The moment we come back to waking state, I say I am body. The moment I sleep, I don't even know there is a body and there is a world. Totally disconnected from the bodily existence. And again when I wake, I totally identify and say I am this body. So this creates the false identity. To know myself in waking state, while can you know yourself who you are in your waking state, then you have the self-knowledge, Atma Jnana. So after that, wherever you are, anything happens in death and birth, there is no problem. You know you are neither body, not body at all. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.